everyone, Jen here with Next Wave Business Coaching. Today I want to talk about a principle that I had to adopt early on in my business, probably earlier than I would have, and I'm going to explain why. So first of all, let's go back to the beginning. So I had shared before that we were living in Chicago, my husband and I. We both started out in corporate America, and we did that for about 10 years, and our family was in Grand Rapids, Michigan. At the time, we had a 3.5-year-old daughter, and we were just ready to move back and be closer to family, and I had always wanted to start a business. So I found this business called Cookies by Design. They were a franchise. I did my due diligence. I created a business plan. We put together our financial projections. It really looked like this was the business for me, and we were going to open it in Grand Rapids, Michigan, where we wanted to move to. So we signed on the dotted line. We put our house up for sale. We were all set to move to Michigan, and within just a couple days of signing the contract to open up a Cookies by Design store in Grand Rapids, Michigan, I found out I was pregnant with my second daughter. Well, you know, we were young, we were 30, we were naive, and we thought we can do this, no problem, we've got this. So we moved, and when we moved, we couldn't find a place to live, so we ended up living with my in-laws, what saints they turned out to be. And so the business model of Cookies by Design was to have a retail bakery. So we had about 1,600 square feet in a strip mall. The front part of it was a small lobby where customers could come in and pick up baked goods already ready to go, or pick up gifts. And then the back of it was a full bakery. We had, I got introduced to a 60-quart mixer, a triple sink, double ovens, the whole 9 yards, right? So most of our business was what I called backdoor business. We had a delivery service, and we serviced corporate clients. We would create these cookie bouquets for special occasions like babies and birthdays, and that's what our business model was. So when we moved and we started production on this retail space, I had no idea of all the licensing and the food regulations and the plumbing that goes involved in creating a grease trap and this trap and everything else, right? So of course things progressed a little slower than we had anticipated, but we were still really excited and ready to go. Finally, we had a date, August 17th, 1998. I had 2 employees. I had a baker hired, someone who was going to come in part-time and bake the cookies. I had a decorator hired, someone who was going to come in and decorate them. And then I was going to do the customer service. I was going to do, wait on the customers, answer the phones. You got to remember this was before internet, so we didn't have online ordering or a website. And I was going to do the deliveries, and while I was out doing the deliveries, it would give me a chance to do some outreach and do some marketing. So that was our plan. We had a little team of 3 of us. We were going to get it started. I was due in about 4 weeks, and so I thought, I'll be all right. We've got time to kind of get this going, and off we go. So we opened on August 17th, 1998, had orders coming in. We were actually busy. And then I went into labor on August 19th, 1998, 21 days early. Thankfully, I delivered a healthy girl. Yes, she was a little bit of a peanut, coming in at 5 pounds, 5 ounces, but she was healthy, and that's all that mattered. So, back then you were in the hospital a couple of days, and when my husband came to pick us up from the hospital, he literally picked us up with cookie bouquets in the back of the car. We had to make deliveries, because remember, I was a delivery person. We had to make deliveries on our way home from the hospital. So that is not your typical start to starting a business. It's not one that I would completely recommend. However, nothing ever goes perfectly when starting a business. So just know that if I can start a business through that, you can start a business too. But anyway, what I learned through that, and what I really want to talk about today, is a couple things. First of all, you really have to have a support system before you start a business, externally and internally. So externally, these are your friends and family. Those couple days I was in the hospital, my mother-in-law, bless her heart, was calling in sick to her job and just coming in and helping out wherever she could. So, you need people that are going to rally around you, people that are going to pick up your kids if something comes up. Just make sure you have that support system in place. But the one principle that I had to adopt early, and is one that's very hard for entrepreneurs, was outsourcing. So remember, my original plan was to be the customer service person, was to be the marketing person, was to be the delivery person. Well, I got home from the hospital and I went to work with my daughter. She actually came to work with me for 6 months in a front carrier, right the day I got home. But I couldn't do all the things I originally was going to. So I had to hire a few more people. I had to outsource. And yes, sometimes that can be challenging because it can create a financial constraint, but that is short-term thinking. So I want you to think about your business and what are the roles that you are doing in your business. If you are the person who's running everything, I'm here to tell you it's really hard to grow and sustain a business like that. And I don't mean to come across, that maybe you can call that the velvet hammer, but I'm just here to tell you that's the reality. And so many entrepreneurs struggle with outsourcing, and why is that? I think part of it is we're scared. We don't think people are going to do as good a job as we can do. But what if they can do better? Like, I wasn't an excellent baker. I wasn't an excellent decorator. I had to surround myself with those people. And the other thing too is, what if you're the only one doing it? What happens if all of a sudden you can't show up one day? What's going to happen to your business? How are you going to sustain a business that way? There's a really good book out there called The E-Myth, and it's by Michael Gerber. And he talks about this. He calls it the technician, where why most businesses don't work is because the business owner becomes the person doing all the things. They become the baker, they become the technician, and they don't get outside of their four walls. So the fact that I was pushed into outsourcing sooner than I wanted to turned out to be a blessing in disguise. I ended up sustaining a business for over 20 years, a profitable business, and I ended up selling it. So if that's where you're at today, I want you to kind of think about that. And maybe that's what you want. Maybe you bought yourself a job, essentially. Okay, another velvet hammer moment. I'm having one of those mornings. Sorry about that. But 50% of businesses fail in the first 5 years. And I'm not trying to be gloom and doom. That's not the purpose of this, right? But the purpose is just to show you that it's easy to start a business. It's the steps you take that are going to sustain the business. So outsourcing is one of them, and a lot of times we wait because we're afraid to spend the money. We have a scarcity mindset instead of an abundance mindset. It's more of a short-term mindset instead of a long-term mindset. When you can get out of being the technician, like Michael Gerber talks about in the E-Myth, that frees you up to work on all four walls, outside of the walls, be the marketing, be the outreach, and grow your business. It also frees you up to create policies and to create programs internally that are going to make your customers have a better experience. So if you are out there and you are the only entrepreneur and you're starting to think about, is it time for me to outsource? What does that look like? I'm not sure how to hire. I'm not sure who to hire. Reach out to me, because that is one of the pillars in my 6-pillar program to build a better brick and mortar, is how to find the right people, how to train them, and how to lead them so that they're going to grow your company with you. So I hope this helps. I hope sharing my story kind of helps you think about what's going on inside your four walls. And I hope it also gives you the courage to, maybe today's the nudge to take a step forward and start working on your business, not in your business. So please reach out to me. I offer a 30-minute discovery complimentary call. I'd love to have that conversation with you.